Afternoon. Today is October 16th, and for some reason I'm not able to log into Kitco, but I'll show you off of Bullion Exchanges. So off of Bullion Exchanges, we got gold there at $4,336.90, and we got silver here at $54.41. So all new all-time highs again. And then while we're here, let me show you the Fred. So if you go to the Fred, type in Fred and then type in Consumer Price Index, or purchasing power rather, of the dollar, and you'll see this starts off from 1913, sorry. That's when the Fed started. Right here it shows you a 0, okay? So that's the value of the dollar, what you could buy, purchasing power of the dollar. You see how it dropped, and then we have the Roaring 20s, and then the Great Depression, and our dollar is actually worth less than what it was during the Great Depression. Let's move our mouse over here. We'll find out what it says. It says that it is worth $30.90 as of August. So our purchasing power of our dollar is definitely going down. And if you doubt that, well, go to the grocery store. You'll find out. So these are not new purchases. It's just I haven't made a video on new purchases in a while. And like I said, I'm always looking for deals. So I wanted to show you some of these. First off, I want to show you the sovereigns. So we got a Silver Eagle sovereign. We got a Britannia. We got a Canadian Maple Leaf. If you're not familiar with these, all these are sovereign coins from government issued. This is a Philharmonic. This is Kangaroo. There's a Queen. This is Krugerrand. This is a Libertad. This is one of my favorite coins. They're a little expensive right now. This is China Panda. It's Kookaburra. And this is an African Wildlife. So those I've had, right? I started building, if you remember one of my first videos, I had wanted to start collecting each sovereign. So I've been going. I'm not as far as I'd like to be, but I'm there, you know. And with prices going up, well, it makes it a little harder. So I'm going to share several things with you. The reason I wanted to show you the sovereigns is because these are bars here. 1 ounce bars, same amount of silver. Both of these have the same amount of silver, same weight. And I have different types. Let's see. I know we have a good one here. Oops. Fix that. Doesn't want to stay. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is a silver tone. I thought I had an Eagleheart. Yeah, here's an Eagleheart right here. Eaglehearts cost a little more because they don't make them anymore. But there's an Eagleheart. So the reason I want to show you this is because there's a couple of dealers that came out saying that they're not buying, not all of them, just a few came out saying that they were not buying bars. They're only buying sovereigns. And in addition to that, they said they weren't buying constitutional silver, which is what these are here. These are just some of what I got, but I wanted to show them to you. So right now is probably a good time to buy sovereigns. You can see that. It's a 50-cent piece. Here's another 50-cent piece. This is what everybody's familiar with, I'm sure. Kennedy. Here's a Franklin 50-cent piece. I used to have them in something like these, but I took them out and I wanted to put them in tubes because I want to, as a goal, to reach that. So these are barbers. I have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barbers. I'd like to fill it up eventually. I already filled up my Walking Liberties, as you can see. And Kennedys need a little bit more. And so do my Franklins. But like I said, right now, if you want to get constitutional silver, it's probably a good price because they're not, some of those same dealers that don't want to take the bars are not taking constitutional either. So here's some dimes. These are just the Mercury dimes. I have a roll of, I think it's Barbers that's very, very low. And I want to say, I think I have Roosevelt's that's real low. And I know I have one more dime. I can't think what it is. And then, of course, these, still got to fill these up. But I'm moving forward, just not as quickly as I was. And, of course, I got all my Morgans. There is 19 Morgans in here. And I actually, so this is stuff that I've accumulated through time. But one of the purchases I made was this Mercury. I'm sorry, this Morgan. And it's an 1889. And this is not like a special case or anything. It's just a case somebody put it in, so I will be removing it and adding it to get my 20. So that was a purchase I made, and I got it before silver prices started going up. So I was fair. It was off of an individual, and of course I tested it to make sure, but I was fair with them and wanted to make sure to give them a fair price and bought it for a fair price. In addition, when I went to my local coin dealer, when I got some of these dimes, I want to say he had maybe like 5 or 10 of them at the time, and he sells them by weight, by the grams. So I told him I wanted all his Mercury dimes, and I got them all. One of them that I got was this one. There's nothing there. And actually, I kind of, if I remember right, I remember looking real closely, and I think it's actually a barber, but it's really hard to see. So I just kind of kept it separated. I tested it. It is silver. It's just worn, unfortunately. So that was a purchase I made. I was at a garage sale, and I made these purchases. Now, when I got them, look how beautiful they are. 20 centavos, both of them 1996, Mexico. I honestly thought they were copper when I bought them. They're actually bronze. So to me, they don't really have value, but I like Mexican coinage, so I went ahead and got them. But God, it was hard to get them. The lady I was buying them from kept on saying that they're uncirculated, and she wanted an arm and a leg. And she said if I have them basically put in, a slab or whatever, that they would, get a lot of money. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. It's going to cost more than what it's worth to do that. So, just wanted to show those. Then at my pawn, and again, all this is over a long period of time, okay? It's not like I did all this quickly. I was at a pawn shop, and they had a bezel for a necklace that had this in it. Yeah, I don't know if you could see it, but it's 2 pesos. Actually, I think this one was in a ring, now that I think about it. So it was a ring. The ring part was 14 carats, so I have that separate, but I took the coin out. And this coin, it's kind of in the middle of the gram and the 120 ounce as far as the amount of gold it has in it. But it was a really, really good deal. As a matter of fact, I got it under spot. Then I was at a different pawn shop. Again, this was a while back. And I think this is probably one of the best finds that I got. And again, I have all the prices written down, so I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is a 1982 Krugerrand 1/10 ounce. And like I said, I don't recall what I paid, but this one was, I think this one was in a bezel. The bezel was 14 karat gold. Of course, I took it to my local coin shop and had it tested just to make sure, and it's real. And I got this under spot as well. And I think I told y'all a story, since we're on gold, I told y'all a story a while back that I had gone to the pawn shop. They were selling an American Eagle 1/10 ounce for $374. At the time, spot price was $392. I should have just left it alone, but instead, I tried to see how much lower they would go. Excuse me. So they took the coin to the back, and what ended up happening was they said that they had it underpriced. So they marked it up, and I kicked myself for even bringing it up. I should have just put it on layaway. The very next day, I decided to go back. They raised it up to $424, and so I went and picked it up today because I had it on layaway and I didn't want to lose it. So I got it today, and she was in shock because I paid under spot today because spot price went up. So I got this American. It's a 1999. I looked it up, and if it would have had a mint mark, it would have been like a preview mark, it would have been like $200 more the value. I can't get it in focus. Let's see. There we go. It's a very beautiful coin. I always wanted to get at least one. I would have preferred to get an ounce, but yeah, I don't see that happening. But I wanted at least one American Eagle. So we got that. And again, I'm saying it again because I'm showing you so much, but these were purchased and made over time, right? So and I'm not doing them in any order. It's just I've kind of been around. So I went to, it was my local coin shop in Corpus, one of the two that I go to. And she actually, all she had was Morgans. Actually, some of these Morgans I had picked up there. But she had a 5 ounce round, 5 ounce quarter. And there's the Mount Rushmore, if you can see it. So I went in and picked that up. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if you'll be able to see it through here. I really don't want to open it, but there it is. It says 0.999 fine silver, 5.0 ounce. So it's a 5 ounce round, and that's a new addition. So, and I want to say I paid $2 over spot for that. So that was pretty good. Then I went to another pawn shop. As you could tell, I like to try to find deals. And let me pull this one out so you can see it better. But so I picked up this 1 ounce. I had actually called them and to ask them if they had any silver. They said they had a 1 ounce bar. First Man on the Moon, United States. It says United Postal Service, 1 ounce, 3 nines fine silver. So I looked it up. When this came out, this was actually in a box set, and it had the actual stamp next to it. And they were selling it for like $80. I got this. At the time, silver price, the spot price was at 44 something. It was right under $45. Look what I paid for it. So I got it way under spot. And of course it got tested and everything, so I know it's real. Again, trying to look for deals. And the last two that I got at actually the same pawn shop I got that one at, but different time. I went one day and asked, I was going to go to my local coin shop. I was actually on my way to my local coin shop. And I decided to stop and ask them if they had any silver. And they said they did have some silver. They just hadn't put it out yet. They were going to get prices. So I asked them, well, I'll wait around if that's okay. So I did. And it's weird because silver was not quite at $50 yet at the time. It was close. Like it kept on going up and down, up and down. So it wasn't quite at 50. But anyway, so they said they had 2 4-ounce bars. So here's one of them. And I'm sure many of y'all have seen that one before. And it comes with all the paperwork and everything. So I got this one. And I got this one. This is a $100,000 3.9 fine silver certificate. So, like I said, silver was right under $50. She sold me this one for $150. So basically I got an ounce free, a little over an ounce free. And then she sold this one for $200. Which again, it was right under $50, so I might have paid just a little over. Of course, now I'm ahead on both of these, especially this one over here. And so it was a good find. So it's good to go to pawn shops, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you have a relationship with your local coin dealer so that you can go and test it, right? And most of them will test it for you. And before I let you go, I definitely want to zoom in. Let's see if we can zoom into this one. This is the one I just picked up today. It's not going to zoom in very well. Nope. Anyway, so that's my newest gold, and unfortunately I'm going to have to stop for a bit because of some situations that came up that I shared in a previous video. But regardless, once everything gets cleared up and get back on track, then hopefully I can start stacking again. And if not, well, that's the whole purpose of stacking. If I need it, I got it. So I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Get right with God. Get out of debt. And if you can buy gold and silver, buy gold and silver. I showed you the Fred. The dollar does not look very good. It looks like we're going to have a crash, and if we do, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would say it's probably not a good time to sell your silver unless you have to, and like I said, I might have to, but it's not a good time to sell because whenever the dollar collapses, and it will, whatever fiat currency or whatever digital currency that they shift to, then you could sell because you'll be getting basically a lot for a little. So So if you're planning on selling, that's probably the way to do it. I heard somebody say, like, if you were going to buy a house, maybe wait, and after the collapse, then you'll be able to trade and for whatever the current currency is, and you'll be able to get a nice house for a cheap price compared to getting it now. Of course, all that is speculation. I mean, we have no proof of what's going to happen, but I would say the writing is on the wall, so, use your own judgment, get right with God, pray for Him to direct you, and hopefully everything will work out. So I'm going to leave it there. Say God bless you. Go home, read your Bible. Have a great and blessed day.